Hello, beautiful humans. I just feel inspired to share this reflection with you about overcoming addiction and for those of you who are struggling with substance abuse, whether it be alcohol or drugs. I've been working with a lot of people that I really love who struggle with addiction, and also I just see it a lot in the town that I'm in right now. And I just want to first say that people who struggle with substance abuse tend to be the most sensitive people, the most heart-centered people, the most even poetic people. And that's a lot of times their sensitivity is what drives them. So if you're watching this and you're struggling with substance abuse, it's probably because you feel a lot. Now, I just have some reflections on that for you. So, first of all, life on earth is very tough, and we're living in kind of this dark age right now, but we are going into a brighter time, but we're not there yet. Most of us are not there yet. So, there's a lot of turmoil on earth right now, and it's a life school anyways, so Earth can be a very scary place to live. It's like, is it even safe here? No, we're all going to die. So, some of us are also working on immortality, but very few of us have cracked the code on it yet. So anyways, just acknowledging that Earth is a really scary place, and also we're living in extraordinary times where there's a lot of churning, a lot of chaos, a lot of crumbling of the old system, crumbling of our lives as we know them, or what we thought to be reality is not so. And or if you're living in the belly of the beast, Babylon, then it could also just suck to be grinding in that machine. So there's plenty of reasons to not want to be fully feeling the excruciatingness of all of those sensations, and it can also just be more fun, or appear to be temporarily more fun if you're high or if you're inebriated. But there are certain life hacks. So we are vessels of consciousness, and the more consciousness we can hold, the more of our actual potential in this lifetime we can bring forth. So I know many of us are also just struggling to want to stay alive because, as I mentioned before, life can be really tough. But the thing is that once you become skillful at crossing through those awkward moments of expansion, the muscle that you develop in doing that will strengthen, and you will be able to tolerate more, and you will find that it's easier and easier and easier and easier. So, my prayer for humanity is that in this next phase of consciousness, and I think that it would be happening whether or not I was praying for it or not, because I think it's already happening, but that the certain drugs and substances that have helped humanity get to where it is now, they've gotten humanity to where it is now, and at the same time, like, we've kind of reached our top level of progress in the current state that we're in now, and it's time for us to evolve. So I often compare alcohol, for example, to a glass ceiling. So it can feel consciousness expanding for a time, where it can make you feel more confident, or it can open your voice if you're a singer, or it can make you smoother with the ladies, or it can make you think that you're more attractive, or whatever. And these feel like an opening, right? But this opening has a level, and then you come crashing back down. So from what I see, we're at this really pivotal point in consciousness where we're evolving as a species. I mean, we've had the internet for 20 or so years now, and that's given us so many tools and resources, and we've been able to see everything that we are as a species and kind of sort it out and say, okay, now that we know what we are, what do we want to do with this information? What do we want to keep? What do we want to not keep? It's so easy to just investigate anything like that. And so we're at this quantum leap point, right? And our ancestors used certain medicines, including alcohol, but name any other spirited substance, to help us get through what they had to go through to get us to this point. So my ancestors definitely used a lot of alcohol to numb pain, to help process grief. And this was the medicine of the time. And now we are reaching a new quantum leap point where we will be using new sacraments, which I think is going to be mostly mushrooms and ayahuasca in appropriate doses and in a helpful way, because it's also, you can get addicted to anything. You can get addicted to LSD or mushrooms or even ayahuasca, which are also medicines. But these are the medicines of the next quantum leap, because alcohol, while it seems consciousness expanding to a point, definitely has a glass ceiling, which then, especially if you have too much, will then plummet you back down. So with mushrooms, you kind of start where humanity left off, and we kind of blossom into this higher awareness. But there's also dangers, if you don't have a solid inner roadmap, this could, you could face your demons in a very scary way that could be disorienting, that could even cause lasting damage. So I recommend, if you are going to change your medicine, working with a guide, or at least researching it and setting up an environment for yourself that is supported to your healing process. And things like mushrooms and ayahuasca, and also DMT, which I haven't tried yet, DMT straight, can actually help your addiction. And so I wasn't planning on going into all that in this talk, but I'm just flowing. But I'll say some more about addiction. So basically, we get addicted when we feel anxiety, and then we have the urge to flee that or numb that. But in any situation, whether you're in a job interview or on a date or with your friends, the person who holds the most power in the situation is the person who's capable of holding the most presence. So this is the person that's capable of holding, basically holding the most tension or holding the most awkwardness. So who can stay grounded in their bodies and breathing deeply through the awkwardness. This is the person who holds the power. And now, just looking in terms of your own personal power. So say you're in an environment, say you're at a work party, or say you're hanging out with neighbors, and you start to feel awkward. And your natural instinct, if you're not thinking, if you're not conscious or tracking yourself, or even if you are tracking yourself, maybe, your natural impulse is to retreat from that, to shy away from that, to hide from that, to numb that, to make it go away. But your personal power and the unlocking of your potential in this lifetime lies in your ability to stay with that awkwardness and breathe through it. And I promise you, if you are able to take 5 deep breaths through, let's see, in and out through your nose. In the middle of that awkwardness, like you feel the awkwardness, and instead of shying away or numbing or distracting with food, with chit chat, with with your phone, with alcohol, with whatever you're doing, if you can like welcome the awkwardness, like amplify the awkwardness, face the awkwardness, it will diminish and it will go away, because you know what that awkwardness is? The awkwardness is the expansion of your being. The awkwardness is your own blossoming. Your own blossoming. So it's like you're opening, you're going into new territory, and you're feeling tender. You're feeling exposed to the elements. It's scary out here. But the more you stay there, you will get stronger, like a tree, like a tree. You will continue to root, continue to root, continue to root, continue to face it. And you will come through. You will break out of that. But if you keep shying away and you keep going back to, hitting that glass ceiling of, oh, here's the awkwardness, and then you're just going back into the loop and you're falling and you're not progressing. But what you want to do is anchor into it. And the earth is here to support you. The earth herself is evolving. She is evolving right now, okay? And I know that there's a lot going on. Like the old paradigm is crumbling. So it might feel like your life is crumbling. But if you can stick through it, if you can face it and rise to the challenge, you can rise like a dandelion out of the cracks of that rubble. You really can. So there's a lot going on right now, right? And you can actually create whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be anything that I'm saying. You can dream in your own thing. But two of the main possibilities that I see right now, which are just two of the infinite possibilities that you are welcome to dream into for yourself, are, you can see yourself going down in the rubble and see your old life as you know it crumbling with this old paradigm and whatever your identity was wrapped up in, or your work, or how you think that you make money, or whatever it is, your family, maybe even your relationship with your family, or whatever it is, your friends, your drinking buddies. So if you see that crumbling and you feel like you're crumbling and you're crumbling with it, then that's a possibility that could happen, and that may happen for some. But my prayer for humanity is that we rise out of the rubble and we actually go for what our hearts have already been dreaming about. And now is the time. Now is the time. It's ripe. So all this chaos that you may be experiencing right now, of course, we're all in our own reality. But if you're experiencing chaos, I personally am experiencing a lot of churning in my environment, right? So sometimes it takes all I have just to breathe through the anxiety or the awkwardness or the unknown, the unknown, the losing of the foothold, but anchoring straight into the earth herself. And she's evolving, and she has our back, and we're a part of her. We're actually an expression of her, like a dancing, walking, talking piece of dirt. So we're supported. So, and then the more that you're able to breathe through the awkwardness, what you're doing is you're holding conscious, you're expanding your vessel of light. You are a vessel of light. Your body and your energetic body are holding your soul. And the more that you strengthen into that tree, into that flower, into that being that you are, into that strength, into that warrior of light, you are bringing more light into your body. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to be aware of more things. You're going to be aware of all things, like the lights are getting turned on. So honestly, most humans are just operating out of like 10% of their consciousness. And then there's like 90% that's behind the scenes, that's out of our awareness, that's just kind of like churning the wheels. And these are animal programs, just from our DNA, of like survival programs that we're running, that were installed by our ancestors. Societal programming, we're all super brainwashed by commercials and blah, blah, blah. And then what else? What else is operating there? I don't know. We've gotten this 90%, this like force, right? And then we have this 10%, which is our ego. And our ego is like, hi, my name's Cassandra. I'm a nice person. I try to help people. Smiley face. This is like who I think I am, right? Who I present to the world, the part that I show to the world. Most people are just operating out of this 10% that is the mind. That's like, I think, I'm planning with my mind. Anyways, my point is that as we are able to hold more awkwardness, we are going to become aware of what's under the rug in the rest of the 90% of us. But we're just a tiny drop in the microcosm of everything. So we're going to be seeing what's going on in everything also. But anyways, as you kind of get to know yourself, just be gentle, because this little smiley face part of ourselves that we show the world, or that we think that we are, it's not the whole story. But it's not like we're bad people or whatever. It's just there's a lot more to it, that because we've been living in a dark age where we have had limited access to our consciousness, we've been out of touch with the rest of the mechanisms that are churning us, driving us to live. So when the lights come on for you and you're able to withstand the anxiety of being, of just being with reality. Ooh, I'm here. This is awkward. Can I withstand that? Can I breathe through that? And the more we do that, the more information we will be able to process and digest. So slowly, all of this rest of the 90% of the programs that we're running, we can kind of integrate them. And once we're actually able to kind of turn the lights on down there, we can actually operate more consciously. So you might be like, oh, that's an interesting program I'm running. Try not to beat yourself up. You'll notice all kinds of unhelpful programs. I still struggle with watching myself in motion as I'm like, now I'm running this program. And I'm conscious, like the lights are on, but some of the programs have a lot of momentum behind them and they're hard to stop. So you turn the lights on, you see all the inner workings of yourself, and you must have compassion. Even tapping, I do a lot of tapping with my clients. So even when I'm doing the same shit over and over again, I love and accept myself. Even when I'm doing the thing I said I wasn't going to do, and I'm watching myself do it, I love and accept myself. So love and acceptance is so important. I'm not promoting doing the same stupid shit over and over, but I'm saying if you judge yourself for it and you beat yourself up over it, you will compound the problem. So you turn on the lights on, you see all the cobwebs down there, all the dirt under the carpet, and you just say, I love and accept myself. We have been living in a dark age for the last 2,000 years, and now it's my job to turn on the lights. This is what time it is on planet Earth, 2022. Humans evolving, the lights are coming on. So what happens once we're actually able to kind of like clean things, organize it, see it, be with it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Wow, look at this interesting program that my ancestors so brilliantly put into place in order to survive. And many of these survival programs we're running are no longer they're no longer useful for us, and so they can be really annoying, but we still just need to love them because yeah, there's just, it's love and acceptance of self and others is a secret key to the universe. So um, it's like you can't actually make it go away until you fully love it like a child, but it's a process. And so let's see. Yeah, you're expanding in consciousness, you're evolving. I recommend trying some new sacraments, but with prayer and intention and just responsibility. And then I also recommend, I challenge you to take 5 deep breaths from the core of your being, breathing into Mother Earth when you feel awkward at a party, at work, at home by yourself, if you're feeling lonely, whatever it is that may drive you to drink, or if you're feeling peer pressured. Yeah, so these are some of the reflections that I have on what I see with a lot of the substance abuse around. It can be really thrilling sitting with that anxiety. If you're a thrill seeker, I challenge you to seek the thrill of expanding your consciousness by breathing into awkward moments. And yeah, humans are evolving. This is a really exciting time to be on Earth. Don't be disheartened by all the crumbling. It's actually good. We actually were ready for this change. We've been asking for this change. We've been leading up to this change. We are the change. So now is the time to really, really, really go for whatever your heart is really dreaming for, even if it hasn't been done before. You are an important piece of the puzzle. You are unique. And you are important, and your life is needed. You living your authentic, true life and your authentic expression is so important for the collective. And the thing is that we evolve together. It's the 100th monkey effect. So we are evolving together. So the more you evolve, you're actually going to have an effect on your whole environment, your family, or just strangers across the world, because we are one heart. So I hope this helps, and I will do a blessing. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be happy. May all beings experience deep ease. May all beings be freed from the shackles of addiction. May all beings experience a gentle awakening, an evolution in consciousness. May all beings easily release any residual karma. May the karma be wiped clean, and may we rise into a heart-centered consciousness together, with joy and ease and lots of dancing. And so it is. Amen. Aho. And I'm praying for you on your journey. You are so special and you are needed. And just be gentle with your sensitive soul. And I challenge you to breathe into the awkwardness, okay? So you can find out more about my work at lovelikeanocean.com. And thank you so much. Happy Ascension.